Welcome to The Explainer. So have you ever had that thought, is my next interview going to be with a robot? Well, for millions of people, that's not science fiction anymore. It's reality. Today, we're going to break down the AI-powered video interviews that are completely changing the game for how we get hired.
All right, let's jump right in with a number that might honestly shock you. 54%. That is the percentage of job seekers in the US who've already had an interview led by an AI. So yeah, this isn't some far-off experimental tech. For more than half of us, it's the new normal.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at this massive gap. On one hand, you've got a staggering 96% of companies using AI in their hiring process, but on the other, a tiny 6% of us, the candidates, actually feel comfortable with it. And that huge disconnect is exactly what we're digging into today.
So you might be asking, how in the world did we get here so fast? Well, like with so many other things, you can thank the pandemic. It was a massive supercharger. I mean, when in-person interviews just stopped overnight, companies scrambled for a solution, and AI interviews went from being this niche experiment to standard practice for the biggest companies out there.
So who are the big players running this whole show? Well, the market's really dominated by a few key companies. HireVue is the leader of the pack, with about 28% of the market. And get this, their platform is used by a whopping 60% of the Fortune 100 companies.
Okay, now for the part I know you're all curious about. How do these systems actually score you? It feels like a total mystery, right? So let's crack open that black box and see what's really going on inside.
The first thing you absolutely have to know is that the tech has made a massive shift. The early versions, well, they got into a lot of hot water for trying to analyze things like your facial expressions and tone of voice. But after a ton of criticism, the big platforms moved on. Today, it's not about how you look or sound, it's all about what you say. The AI is analyzing the actual content, the words you choose, your logic, and how you structure your answers.